According to CNBC, 60% of people are completely emotionally detached at work, 19% of them are completely miserable. And so there's a lot of people that want to switch careers, but they're not sure what to do or how to go about that, or if they should even switch careers or stay put. So I'm going to go through things that you should be considering if you're looking at switching careers, and steps to take if you're going to go that route. The very first one is what you're doing now aligned with who you are and what you want? So what does that mean? A lot of times we don't take the time to actually sit down and really get to know who we are and what we want. And what I mean by who we are is what resonates with you. What do you want? What type of life do you want to have? Do you want to travel? Do you want the lifestyle? Is there a certain income that you want to be bringing in every single month? And those are important questions that you have to be asking yourself. If I were to look back at my past, I was in the medical sales industry for a while, and as a sales professional, you are essentially growing a territory, and so you're really growing the business of the company. And so for me, it really gave me an entrepreneurial bug, and I wanted to go into business for myself, but I didn't know what I should be doing. A friend of mine came to me and said, "Hey, we're opening an insurance and financial services office. Have you ever thought about getting into that industry?" Heck no, that's not my thing. I don't want to do anything with insurance and financial services. But when I went in and just learned more about the industry, I learned a lot about why the rich stay rich, why the poor stay poor, and it really helped put me in a position where I could say, okay, this is something that I would want to do. I transitioned from medical sales to the insurance and financial services industry, made a six-figure income. I opened an office for myself. I trained hundreds and actually thousands of agents, not only just in the Jacksonville, Florida market, but across the nation. I really fell in love with this industry, and I was in it for about 6 or 7 years. Towards the end of that, I started just asking myself different questions. Am I really resonating with certain parts of the business that I'm doing today? A lot of what I had to do was recruiting, training, and development of agents, and then also helping on the client side. What I didn't enjoy was the recruiting side. I just didn't like the process of it anymore. And if you're looking at business, everything in business is a process. It's all about a process. So it's really important that you fall in love with that process, you appreciate that process, and you can work the processes and systems that it takes in order to make that business successful. The second thing was income, right? And I know for me, I started off, okay, how do I put myself in a position to make $1 million a month or $2 million a month? How do I do that? And so if I was going to continue scaling my insurance agency, the number one thing that I needed was distribution. So I needed more agents. Well, what does that require? Recruiting. And I didn't like recruiting anymore. I had an extensive background in real estate with my dad being a developer, my brother being in a real estate finance. I learned a lot about construction. I learned a lot about scaling portfolios, actually help scale portfolios to millions of dollars. And so I just knew that I could take all that knowledge that I learned from the construction and real estate, all the knowledge that I took from building an agency, and all the knowledge that I knew about business in general, and really funnel it into the real estate industry. The question that you have to ask yourself is, are you just having bad habits where you're just not doing the work, where you're just being lazy? Or is this something that is it's just not in your soul to do? It doesn't call you, it doesn't speak to you, it doesn't give you life? Those are some of the things that are going to make or break the career that you're getting into or the career that you're leaving. So very important question that you have to be asking yourself. Is the money not adding to your satisfaction anymore? Meaning, at one point you started this career, maybe you're making really good money, and there were some things that you disliked, you didn't want to do with the business or the job that you're in, but you were able to stay there because of the money. After that runs out, what's left? So what are you dissatisfied about? And so if that's something that you're asking yourself, then maybe it is time for you to consider a career change or a business change. And this leads me to my final point before I go into steps and actions to take. And that point is, work is affecting your personal health and you really dream about doing something completely different. So what do I mean by that? If you're losing sleep, if you're stressed out, if you're negative, if you have a low energy about yourself, if this is something that is just really draining and pulling the energy out of you on a daily basis, you gotta take a step back, because you're gonna spend so much more time at your job than you are anywhere else. And so if you're somebody that's going through that, you really gotta ask yourself, are you willing to continue giving your life to somebody, if you're willing to continue giving your life, most of your time, most of your hours in this very short life that we have, to something that you're not passionate about, stop doing it. Why are you doing it? Go do something that's going to make you happy. Go do something that's going to give you energy. You got to take care of yourself from the inside out. You got to take care of yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. And a lot of that is having to do with the career that you're choosing, because it's either going to give you life or it's going to take away life. Ultimately, your work should energize you, not take life away from you. Now I'm going to go through some steps that you ought to take if you are looking at making a career change or job shift, okay? You got to figure out, what are your likes, what are your dislikes? I would take a piece of paper and I would write them out. What are some things that you're willing to do? What are some things that you're not willing to do? What are some things that you like? What are some things that you don't like? What resonates with you? What doesn't resonate with you? And really get a good picture of what that looks like. And now you're getting to know yourself better. You're going to outsource the things that maybe you're not as good at, and you're going to actually do the things that you're really, really good at, your unique abilities, your unique talents, the things that really energize you, and hire other people to do the other things. You want to know exactly where you're going and what it's going to take to get there. You're going to write down a plan and you're going to execute that plan. So if you're going to go into the real estate industry, if you want to get into insurance and finance, whatever that looks like for you, you've got to write that down, develop a plan. Your personal finances, your business, right? Your family, your spirituality, your health, what the numbers should look like in business for you. You're going to write all those things down of what it looks like. And then all you have to do is find a mentor or somebody, a sounding board that you can bounce ideas off of. Go through it with them, see what their thoughts are, somebody who's above you, somebody who is actually where you want to be in business or career, and you're going to sit down with them and go through that plan with them, and then you're going to execute it. They'll give you feedback, then you want to take it back, execute it, and make sure that you actually do those things. I will leave you guys with this. Life is so short. I talked about this earlier. Life is so short. You are spending so much time in your job and in your career, and your number one job for life is to live it to the fullest. Don't waste this beautiful life that we have. Stop spending time on things that you don't want to do, or things that don't energize you or bring you life or allow you to be a light for others. Stop doing those things and go do something that does allow you to do that. But make a plan, make an educated guess, educated decisions on what those look like, and go do it. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.